his time like boating on the Shibu Lake with her girlfriend. Here doing this presentation. All right, my team's name is Team 24. It's came from like the game Game24, and it's like American video show like 24 hours or something like. And our team's average age is 24, so we have many meetings. And our project's name is Adobe Self-Expression Project. This is our outlines. We will talk about brief introduction, interviews, insights, and potential needs unpack, and do some framework. Maybe we can go to some like solutions at the end. This is the first part. We give a brief introduction to our project. It's about the internet, but it's not focused that broad area. We are mostly interested in the self-expression. You know, when the internet is first developed, it's only the place you to read stuff, not to post things and communicate with each other. So in this project, we are interested in understanding the needs in the US and China with regards to self-expression and communication in the digital world. And we are most focused on the boundaries of their needs to express and communicate in the digital world. Our planned goal is to do the interviews and collect data in both countries. Then we'll look at people at different age groups and catalyze their levels of use online tools. And we want to discover how they use self-expression on the internet. I mean, when they share, what they share, how they share, and who they share with. Then we go to the second part, the interview overview. Our American members have done an excellent job. They have finished 11 interviews already and posted on the wikis. We list all the interviews they have done. They have done the interviews at different range. They the first one is travelers, the second one, the third one are like young professions, and there are also like young students or something like that. And there's an artist, the seventh. There are too many interviews. Just pick up two that are most interesting. The Draw, the Imagine Controller Blogger, and the Rob. You see this one. This is a person who uses internet quite often. He travels a lot, and he likes to update his blogs every day. He even wants to control his image by controlling what he posts on his blogs. He wants to show people who he's like. You see, this is the material I get from interview. He said, I write my blog for myself. I selectively share things about myself. And he want to get recommendations, and even it's meaningless or junk, but he still want to communicate people on the internet. He's a 26-year-old and heavy traveler. Now he's graduate student at Stanford. He get insights from this is online Drone. It's a fit version of Drone. He selected share. He just want to show what the whole of his characteristic on the internet. Want to selectively share, and his blog is remind him of his life and tell others about his life. Then we go to the second one, the Rob. This is really an interesting person. He's an engineer who started his own company, and his interests are music and auto design. Cars or automobiles. And he don't share so many things on the internet because he said that posting or writing journals on the internet is always like a competition, and it implies blagging, and he hates blagging, so he don't want to do that. He just want to, and he's really expert in music. He knows really about especially pop music, and auto design is also his interest. He's an engineer, but not mechanical or automobile engineer. So he want to share things in music, which he's expert in, but he don't want to share things in auto design because he's not professional in auto design. Even she's very interested in this area, this field, and she's passionate to learn more about it. Yeah, you see the second insight. Passionate non-expert don't have an outlet of expression. This is the most important insight we get. And he has a need to, he want to catch up with others in the like car designs, want to be expert, but he often get frustrated. He's like computer engineer, not a mechanic engineer. He don't know much basic knowledge like in the car design, so it's hard for him to. Then we collect all these two interesting interviews insights. This is the list of that 4 insights. We see the intensity of self-expression. Rob is very low. I mean the car design engineer who's interested. And the travelers that put almost everything but get little share. And the Joel's intensity of self-expression is very high, while Rob is very low. He wants to say a little stuff of what music he's interested in. That's almost the same for the other like 9 interviews. There's always people go extreme. They may share very few things on the little things on the internet, or they share almost everything on the internet. It's interesting that we can hardly find people in the middle. They share like some of their lives on the internet. That's the problem we find. Then we want to discover what's the problem. This is like the intensity, the relatively from how much you share and how much you know. From the beginning, people know nothing, like draw about the car design, and maybe you go different. Maybe the downside is draw, the upper side is draw. Sorry, maybe I made a mistake. I mean that at the first stage, people share nothing, and getting people to start sharing online is not easy. This part, people from sharing nothing to sharing all. The different part is the stage people start to share a little stuff. It's intimidating, and a lot of work. They don't know what is worth sharing at the first stage. And after the first post, especially it is successful. I mean that it gets some replies and some feedbacks, and people like people like prize what you write, what you post, your photos, your journals. It will be encourage you to do more sharing on the internet. And this intensity of sharing will go up rapidly after you first successful. And this is an obstacle we need to face to let people share online. So